Good morning. Welcome back to another gentle chair class, which is a blend of yoga and Tai Chi. And I've identified this as a one chili pepper class. So this is appropriate for all levels. You will need a chair, and we're going to stay in a seated position throughout the class. Again, super gentle, and I'll even give modifications for the amount of movement at our arms and our legs, so you can make yourself completely comfortable here. Let's settle into our chairs, and we'll get started. So I have a pillow in the seat of my chair because I'm tall, and it helps to have your hips a little bit higher up, depending on the height of the seat of your chair that you're using. So just know that your lower back is going to feel the most comfortable if your hips are a little bit higher than your knees while you're sitting. So make those adjustments, and then be mindful of what kinds of chairs that you're using throughout your day, and especially in your home, and adjust those heights to make yourself more comfortable, and to go ahead and set up the lower part of your spine, your hips, that foundation while you're sitting. Set yourself up so that you're in alignment with yourself. Yeah, everything feels good. So if you're in a chair that's really low, I'll go ahead and turn sideways so you can see. If I didn't have this, and especially if I'm just kind of slouched in a chair, what happens at my pelvis is it rolls back. And then the rest of my spine comes into this curved C shape. And we don't want to hang out here for long periods of time. It's not good for us. Yeah, everything in the front shrinks together. Everything in the back is getting pulled and tugged on. So make sure that you're up high enough to where sitting up on your hips is nice and easy and comfortable, and then you'll feel so much better in this position for a longer period of time. Okay, so before we get started today, let's just remember the great benefits of slowing things down, moving our bodies well, and really paying attention to how things feel as we go. Every day is different. Our bodies are a little bit different as we go through our days and our weeks and our months. So that returning and that listening quality of paying attention to how everything feels. And if you're not used to that, it can be a bit of a practice and a process to build that connection with your own body. That's okay. I'll talk you through it, and it will get easier to do the more you practice it, just like anything else. So that we want to stay in that listening quality, in that awareness of how does my body feel, and where is there some strain or some tension, and then help yourself out of that place to where you feel better. Yeah, before things get really bad. So we want to catch those things that we can make more comfortable early rather than late. Okay? All right, so here we are in our seats. Let's start with our hands resting on our legs. Your feet are flat on the floor. And I'm seated a little bit away from the back of my chair. Feel free to scoot your hips all the way back and use the back of your seat for support if you need to. I'm going to stay in this kind of halfway forward position as we go until probably the very end of class. All right, so let's start taking some deep breaths. Take a hand to your belly area. And let's practice those deep belly breaths or diaphragmatic breathing, where instead of having our breath be way up high, just at our chest and upper chest, let's start to send the breath way down, where our belly will expand as we inhale And then recover back in as we exhale. And again, breathe in. And out. Just this practice of finding a good seated position for your back and for your hips, and then breathing deeply takes you a long way to wellness and to feeling better and relaxing. One more time like this, taking a deep breath in, opening up, and then relax that hand down on the leg. Good. Let's start to move from the shoulders a little bit, floating them up towards the ears, and then relaxing down all the way. So we're going to hook that breath. Breathe in and float them up. Breathe out, relax them down. 2 more times. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, maybe those shoulders relax even more away from the ears. 1 more time like this. Breathe in, float the shoulders up. And breathe out, relax them all the way down. Good. Keep the shoulders relaxed. This time when we breathe in, the exhale is going to send our left ear gently towards the left shoulder, keeping the opposite shoulder relaxed. Breathe in, float the head center. And breathe out, relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Again. Breathe in. And breathe out. So you might feel a stretch along the opposite side of your neck and your shoulder area. Breathe in. And breathe out. Don't worry so much about how far you're bending your neck, your head side to side. Just keeping both shoulders relaxed while you're floating through that movement. 1 more time, over to the right. Breathe in. And exhale, relax over any amount. Good, coming back into center. This time, as we exhale, let's turn and look towards that left shoulder. Coming back through center. And turn and look towards the right shoulder. Same thing here. We're not forcing a larger movement than we're comfortable with, but we're just enjoying that movement of the neck that we have. Breathe in, center. And breathe out, rotate. Let's go 1 more time, each side. Breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And out. Good. Coming back into center. Let's relax the upper body and the neck and the shoulders, and let's warm up the ankles and the knees a little bit. So my ankles are right underneath the knees, and we're going to start to float 1 heel at a time right up off the floor, any amount. Kind of like a pedaling motion, just waking up the ankles. The toes stay relaxed on the floor as we pedal back and forth. No hurry. Keep those deep breaths going. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. And then sending the feet further out in front of the knees. Now we're going to do the similar pedaling motion, but this time the toes are coming up towards your face. So the heels stay in contact with the floor. You're pulling those toes back towards you Again, a nice waking up for the ankles. And breathe easy. Good. All right. So pulling those feet back underneath your knees again, right into this starting position. Nice. We're going to start a little shifting side to side in the seat of your chair. So we're going to be shifting more towards one hip and then towards the other hip. If you want to relax your hands down by the sides of the chair, if you're comfortable with that, let's go ahead towards that position. Shifting side to side, shoulders are still relaxed, and you don't have to shift as far as I'm shifting. This might be smaller for you. So you can start to think about this as unweighting one hip at a time. As we shift over to the right, that left hip is a little bit unweighted and free. Same thing to the other side. So let's just notice that dynamic as we go side to side, because we're going to use that in the next few movements that we go into. Nice little gentle core strengthening here as we shift that weight and support ourselves in a little bit of a lean. Breathing into one side and breathing out to the next side. Take your time. If you need to go at a different pace of breath for yourself, feel free to do that. You don't have to match my speed. A few more times like this. Breathing in. Our backs are really easy and relaxed. And I find that if I have a little bit of movement like this, when I'm sitting in a chair, this feels much better and keeps me loose compared to sitting still and not moving. That for me and my body is when everything tightens up. And a lot of people are similar to that. So start to pay attention. This is part of that listening quality that we started the class talking about. Notice the patterns in yourself. Notice what's helpful and what is really not helpful, and adopt those strategies that keep you loose, keep you feeling good, and your body will help you know what that is. Okay, so we've been doing this shift, unweighting one side and the other side. Now we're going to go into a little bit of Tai Chi footwork, taking advantage of that unweighted side. All right. So as we shift our weight onto that right hip, the left hip is unweighted. Let's send the left foot forward. The heel lands forward, and we're going to lean a little bit in that direction. So this is called a bow step in Tai Chi. As we lean back, let's go back towards that same side, unweighting that hip and drawing that foot in. And then another little shift side to side before we go to the other side. Here we go, shifting on to that left hip. The right hip is unweighted. That heel comes forward, a little lean in that direction. Nice stretch for the back of that right leg. Coming back, easing that foot forward because everything's a little bit off that side that needs to move. And then right back to that gentle shift side to side. We're going to do this several times. Shift to the right hip, send the left heel forward. A little lean in that direction. Lean away from that side so it can come in easily, and then shift again side to side. So there's this nice back and forth flow that will make your body nice and comfortable and make this movement easier for you. Right heel going forward, bow step, and a little lean in that direction. As you come back, lean to the left so that right foot is easily brought back into place. Little shift side to side. Let's do one more time each side. Lean to the right. Left heel moves forward. Lean in that direction. You have nice support from that heel that's forward. And then leaning back, draw that foot back in, shift a little to each side. And one more time. Shift to the left, send the right heel forward, a little stretch forward in that direction. Coming back, lean away from that right side, and then it can come in nice and smoothly. A little shift back and forth again. Awesome. All right, we're gonna come into a bit of a center position. Relax the arms down by the sides, coming to this gentle mountain pose. So the palms are gently turned a little bit forward. When you turn those palms a little forward, what we're doing is we're encouraging an opening at the front of the body. So an opening of the chest and the shoulders. Good. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, relax the shoulders down. And again, deep breath in. And all the way out. Good. Now, let's move the arms a little bit. Send them out to the sides. And then release them all the way back down. So it's happening with your breath. As you breathe in, open and stretch. As you exhale, soften everything down. 2 more times. Breathe in and open. Maybe lift the chin. And exhale, relax back down. 1 more time. Breathe in. And out. Good. This time, let's let the palms rotate the opposite way. So the backs of your palms are facing the front. We're going to initiate a little movement to the front with those palms. And then soften the elbows into your body. The hands float down by your sides. So this is opening the door in Tai Chi. Take a deep breath in. Float everything up. Draw everything in and soften it all down. Good. So we have a lot of options here. You can float the whole thing. Top of the head floats up. And then as you exhale, you may want to sink through the hips, maybe round the spine a little bit. And we can start to combine a little bit of cat-cow from our yoga. Lifting up, drawing in, sinking down, a little rounding as you sink. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. Nice little massage for the spine as we go. And breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more time. Floating up. And floating down. Nice. All right, let's bring the hands right back onto the legs. Rest the arms for a moment. Let's work those shoulders, sending them into some gentle circular directions. So any amount, sending them a little forward, a little up, a little back, and relax down. So we have lots of movement available. Sometimes we get really locked in place at our shoulders if we hold tension in our neck and the muscles around. So let's go ahead and get them moving again. You don't have to go as large as I'm going, but as long as you're going any amount in those directions. Forward, up, back, and down. 2 more times. Forward, up, back, and down. Last time, forward, up, back, and relax those shoulders down. Awesome. All right, let's return to talking about that bow step. So far, we've done our bow step with the heel coming forward and a little lean in that direction. We've done that bow step facing one another with that foot coming directly forward. This time we're going to do a little opening into a diagonal direction as that heel moves forward. We still have a little bit of a lean as we go back and forth, but any amount opening, you have nice support and a nice wide stance as we go in this diagonal direction. So bow step off to the right, lean a little that way, lean back, and that foot can come in much easier. Same thing to the other side. We're still leaning back and away as that left foot goes out, and then a little stretch forward any amount. Leaning back, and that foot can easily come in. Good. You can keep the hands relaxing on your legs if you'd like, or you can send them into this little rounded meditation tree pose. Palms facing your belly. Your shoulders are just barely working to hold those arms up. So if you have any discomfort in your shoulders here, go ahead and relax the hands back down, or bring the palms closer in towards your belly. Okay? So bow step, a little lean. Shift the weight back and ease that foot back in. Same thing to the right. Bow step, a little bit of a lean. And shift the weight back in. Good. Now we're going to start to send that same hand a little bit forward in that lean. And then draw it in as the foot's returning. Same thing to the right. That lead hand's following that same foot. And lean back and draw it in. Again, breathe in, send that same side hand forward. And relax it in. One more time like this, same side forward. And relax it back in. Nice. Now the opposite hand, if you want to just drop it down, it gives you some nice opposition in weight. You're going to feel really secure as you go in this pattern. Same side hand as foot. Opposite hand just drops down. And then come back into center. Again, to the left. And shift. And draw it into center. And right hand, right foot match. Left hand drops back. Coming through center. So one of the great dynamics of Tai Chi is that you have this slow, constant quality of movement that never really stops. It just flows. And that's really nice for our tissues and for our joints to practice this kind of movement. Let's go one more time. Shift towards the left and back into place. And shift towards the right and back into place. Nice. Relax the hands right down on the legs. Couple little shoulder shrugs. Make sure you're relaxed and let go of any tension. And breathe in. And breathe out. Nice. We're going to return to that same weight shift a little bit side to side. And work on a little slow motion, marching in place. Also known in Tai Chi as rooster stands on one leg. So as we lean towards the left, the right heel is going to start to float up. Again, it's nice and unweighted on that same side. So it's not heavy, it's not hard to lift, just floats. Keeping the toes for now relaxed onto the floor. You can keep the hands resting on the legs if you like, or just relax them down by the sides of your chair. Breathe into one side. Breathe out to the next side. So we're having the opposite heels just floating up. If you want to come to the tip of the toes at this point, feel free to explore that. It's hardly any more effort at all. Tip of the toes on the right. And tip of the toes on the left. breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Good. And the last step that we can add, if you want to play with floating a little bit off the floor. Once you come to the tip of the toes, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to float a little further. We're unweighting that right side, so it's not heavy. Lean to the right, float the left foot. And lean to the left, float the right foot. So this is a great method to start with something so gentle, so light, and then gradually add a little bit more because you won't jump into overdoing right off the bat. It's a great way to kind of retrain ourselves to conserve energy and listen to the quality of our movement. A few more times like this. Lean to the right, float the left. And lean to the left, float the right. 2 more times. Lean right, float the left. And lean left, float the right. Good. Relaxing both feet down to the floor. Let's come into our center position here. We're going to do a little stretch for the hips. An opening stretch for both sides. So starting with your left leg, we have options. We can come into this kind of T-step position with the left heel close to the right ankle, allowing that left knee to drop open to the side, which happens from the hip. So we're opening that left hip, relaxing it. Yeah, so we're going like this, open. Hips become one of those places where we can get really tight as we age, especially. So getting some stretch into an opening direction is really good. As long as we're not forcing or pushing towards pain, this should be comfortable. If you want to go into a little deeper stretch, lean your shoulders back and cruise that left heel over the right knee, adjusting that lower foot maybe a little bit in front of the knee below. And then we're in this cross-legged position. So you may be up like this, and this is your stretch, and that's totally fine. We're gonna shift and play a little bit here. Don't feel like you've got to match my position here because I'm more flexible than normal. So once you find the place that's right for you, let's move and let's breathe while we're here. Again, for most people, a little bit of movement with the deep breath will keep you relaxing and keep things stretching well rather than locking up and shutting down. Okay? So think opening, like opening a door. That's what we're doing for our body. Opening a door for mobility, for movement, for ease. Take a deep breath in and out. And breathe in and out. One more time. Breathe in and out, leaning the shoulders back again so that crossed leg is free to come off softly and back to the floor. Let's pause just a moment, resting the hands on the legs. Take a couple of breaths right here and notice how both hips feel. Notice any sensations in your legs. And then let's start the same stretch on the other side. So go into the second side very aware and cautiously, because your two sides will be somewhat different. Whether you recognize it or not, we're not symmetrical. No one is exactly the same, left to right. So maybe start in this first option, right heel resting against the left ankle, relaxing the right knee open, which is coming from that right hip. Notice how that feels. You might want to set yourself up to stay here. We'll get into that little soft sway in a moment. If you want to lean the shoulders back and cross the right heel over the left knee, you can play with this position too. And then once you find the right spot for you, bring a little bit of soft sway, side to side. Any amount. Slow down the breath. Remember sending that breath way down deeper towards the belly area. Relaxing the whole body. One more deep breath here. And then leaning the shoulders back so you can gently release the crossed foot right back down to the floor, floating the top of the head up towards the ceiling, noticing the hips relaxed into the seat of the chair. Take a good listen to your body and just see how everything feels one more time. Deep breaths. Keep relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the muscles and the skin of your face. Let all the tension just drain out. Easy at the eyes, the cheeks, the forehead. Relax the mouth. And that's it. That is our gentle chair yoga and Tai Chi. I hope that was relaxing. I hope it was, a good experiment and a good practice for listening to your body and developing that practice of staying aware, right? And then we take that into all of our movements, the rest of our day, all of the positions that we set ourselves up into, especially in chairs. Just become more aware. Practice those little soft sways, the deep breaths, relaxing the tension out of your shoulders and your hips and your back. And start living into that direction of, just basic wellness, of taking care of yourself moment by moment by moment. And it will help you enjoy every moment so much more. Because if we feel better, that's enjoyment defined. All right? So have a great, great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.